What's up, guys? Coach Joe, lead trainer of the Grindhouse training system and the founder of Zat Strength. It is a beautiful day outside, so what I decided to do is go for a nice bike ride, which is what I'm using for my main source for cardio, as well as doing metabolic conditioning during my strength training sessions that I normally do. So I got on the bike, rode for about 20 miles, midway through stopped at a park that I grew up playing on as a kid, absolutely had a great time, hopped back on the bike, drove back. Now, during my bike ride, I kind of try to use it as my meditation as well. So, focusing on my thoughts and my breathing. Now, breathing is essential for everything we do, everyday life, but it's very important for training and learning how to brace properly for weightlifting, as well as control your breathing for long cardiovascular or endurance activities, running, playing sports, or anybody who's track and field or loves to ride a bike for a long period of time. You should be able to control your breathing. And the main problem that we do when we're tired, especially when we're huffing and puffing, is we breathe with our chest and not from our belly. I got this from Elliot Holst, where he always says, breathe through your balls. And that literally means breathe from very deep down in your belly, almost to where you can feel your balls vibrating a little bit. So what we do from the side is when we're huffing and puffing is we're using our chest and we're only taking in a small amount of oxygen that way, rather from breathing from our belly first, then opening up to the chest with the diaphragm and inhaling as much air as possible, which is a lot better for us in terms of longevity with endurance activities, especially for strength gains and weightlifting. If I'm putting up a lot of weight, whether I'm back squatting or I'm deadlifting or even when I'm cleaning or pressing, I want to fill my lungs up with much air as possible and strengthen my core as much as possible so that I can press it safely. And if you're not, you collapse. Something that I learned, let me just grab a water bottle real quick. Sorry, guys. Something that I learned from one of my coaches that it's actually one of my Coach Buss. He showed me this. If you have a water bottle, right, and there's air inside of it, which would be your lungs. So you have your belly, balls here, and your chest and your diaphragm here. If you fill it all up with air, right, squeeze that cap on, go to squat, nice and strong, right? No air's coming out. Now, if you do it wrong, okay, and you're breathing from the chest only, and you're gonna go put up a lot of weight and you're not locked in your core and your diaphragm and everything like that, when you go to squat, that's what's gonna happen. You're gonna crumble and you're gonna cave. So what I'm gonna do is put some clips in, like really short videos on how to just notice if you're breathing with your chest first or your belly, and then I'm just gonna give you a simple exercise to do that will work on breathing from your belly first up into your chest rather than chest first and no belly. Make sense? All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, I'm going to show you a really quick example of a way for you to tell if you're breathing from your chest first or your belly. Very simple example. So you're just going to stand sideways. You're going to put one hand on your belly, one hand on your chest. Now, if you were to breathe, and you breathe with your chest first, and you can feel this hand rise, and you know you're not breathing from your belly. So one way to do that is I'm going to over-exaggerate it a little bit, but you're going to breathe in, pushing your belly out. So, and then rise the chest. So if you saw this came out first, then my hand on my chest rose, and I locked everything in tight with my shoulders up a little bit. So belly comes out, then I rise all the air to my chest, and I'm doing that through my nose, not my mouth, okay, because the nose is where you want to breathe all that air into first, and then lock everything into place. So that's a great quick example for you to tell right away. Another really quick one to do is you can lay on your stomach. So I'm on my stomach, I'm relaxed, okay? I'm gonna inhale, and when I inhale, I should feel my belly press into the ground as hard as I can, and the sides of my stomach and my obliques are gonna be nice and strong. So I'm gonna breathe. Tap myself a little bit. I could feel that my obliques were firing, and I had the air from the belly first, and then it rose into my chest. That's a nice, easy way to see if you're bracing from a standing and a laying position. Now, what you guys want to do is just focus on doing that over and over again until you really can grasp the fact of breathing from deep below, then up into your chest. What this is going to directly correlate to is you're going to be able to put more weight up in any weightlifting activities, and you're going to not destroy your aerobic capacity when doing an endurance event. So if you're running or biking or you're jogging, whatever you're doing that's going to be longer on the cardiovascular system, if you're breathing from the belly first all the way up into the chest, you're going to actually slow your heart rate down a little bit, and you're not going to deplete your glycogen stores, which is your stored glucose, very fast. So try to do that. It's going to take a little bit of time to get used to it, but start breathing from your balls, and you're going to notice that it's going to really make you feel a lot better during your lifting and any cardio or endurance type activities. Later, guys. This is kind of a complete side note. I'm throwing it in last minute on the end of this video, so you can disregard it or listen to it. But the problem is when I was growing up, I was so consumed with getting a six-pack ab image, and I think a lot of people still are. They want those washboard abs and blah, blah, blah. And the truth is to get there, one, there's a nice genetic role that plays with getting six-pack abs. So if you don't have the genetics to ever have a nice ripped up body, it's really probably not going to happen. Or even if you do get ripped up, you may not even look like the way you want to look or the way you think you look just off of genetics. But the problem is that, especially with breathing, is we keep our abs tight all the time because we were trying to squeeze those abs. And you'll hear bodybuilders talk about it, how when they're driving, they squeeze their abs and they're constantly squeezing their abs as tight as they can. When if you're doing that all day long and you're breathing from your chest, it's going to cause a lot of muscular imbalances because you're not breathing from your belly. And the reason we don't breathe from our belly is because, quite frankly, it's pretty ugly. Like, nobody wants to push out their belly all the time and lock it into place when breathing correctly, or when they're riding their bike. I'll be guilty of it. I even was a little self-conscious at first of breathing with my belly, because here I am without a shirt while I'm riding my bike and I'm just letting my belly hang out, and it feels weird. It feels unnatural. But that's the thing, is you need to do it because you're getting rid of the muscular imbalances that you have or that you've held up with keeping those abs tight all the time because you want to look good, and when people drive by you want to see that you're flexed and you're tight, when that's just going to affect that performance. So if you're going for performance-based stuff like strength and increasing your muscular endurance and your cardiovascular endurance, you're going to have to kind of look into these things with breathing from your belly versus your chest. But if you're looking more for aesthetics and you just want to look good all the time and you don't care about your longevity of the muscles in the body, then squeeze your abs as tight as you want. You know, that's up to you. But for me, I'm more focused on performance. I would still like to look good and be confident with how I look. But when it comes to performance versus how I look, I actually hit that pivotal turning point where whatever it takes is what I have to do. So if I don't have the abs, but I can clean and jerk 400 pounds, I'm going to go with the clean and jerk 400 pounds. Now, I'm not saying you need to do that. I'm saying you need to figure out what you want to do and then stick to it. So, peace.